Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Learn English in Real Life. I'm Alex, and I'm happy you're here. In this episode, we're talking about something we usually try to avoid. Waiting. It can feel slow, pointless, even scary. But sometimes, waiting is exactly what we need. It gives us space to grow, to understand, and to choose better. Later in the episode, I'll share a real story that shows how powerful waiting can be and how it can lead to surprising results. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video and subscribe for more real-life English stories. Let's begin. Waiting is not just sitting around and hoping that something will happen. Real waiting includes a quiet but strong belief that things will work out, that the right moment will come. In today's fast-moving world, especially in Western culture, people often see waiting as something negative. It's common to hear phrases like, "Don't wait, make it happen," or "Go for it now." That's why I had to look far to find a quote that values waiting in a deep way. To be honest, I haven't always believed in waiting. For most of my life, I was impatient. I wanted to move fast. I thought success meant doing things quickly and getting results right away. In my 20s, I had a plan for my life. I would go to college, get a job, get married, and have a family. So I picked a major, worked hard, checked off the boxes. And when it felt like the right time to get married, at least according to the timeline in my head, I just chose the person who seemed to fit and moved forward. Back then, I thought waiting was what people did when they were unsure or afraid. It seemed like an excuse to avoid action. But now I know something very different. Waiting is not weakness. Waiting, when done right, is actually a sign of deep strength. It is one of the most powerful skills we can learn if we want to live a good life. Our minds, though, hate to wait. The brain wants answers and wants them now. That voice in your head might be shouting, "Just do something already. Anything is better than doing nothing." And that voice usually finds support because we live in a society that celebrates fast decisions, quick moves, and staying busy. But doing something just for the sake of action is often not helpful. In fact, it can take us in the wrong direction. Psychologists say that the human brain doesn't like uncertainty. We would often rather make a quick decision, even if it's a bad one, than sit in the uncomfortable space of not knowing. This space is something we rarely talk about, but it's important. It even has a name: liminal space. That word, liminal, comes from Latin and means threshold, a place between two things. It's like standing in a doorway, not quite in one room or the other. Liminal space is full of possibilities. You haven't chosen your direction yet, so anything can happen. But that also makes it scary. Most people want to rush through these in-between times. They want to find the next clear answer, the next big thing, the next step. They want signs and certainty. But life doesn't work like that. Most of the time, there is no clear sign saying this is the right path. Life is not a straight road. It's more like a maze. When we allow ourselves to slow down and wait, something interesting happens. It's like walking into a dark room. At first, you can't see anything. But if you stay still for a while, your eyes start to adjust. Slowly, you begin to notice shapes, colors, and details. You see things that were invisible before. Waiting works like that. It helps you see more clearly, not just outside, but also inside yourself. This kind of waiting is not passive. It's active. You're not doing nothing. You're paying attention. You're listening to your inner world. You're staying open, watching for signs, for feelings, for quiet signals that tell you when the time is right. In psychology, this is related to something called interoception, the ability to feel what's happening inside your body. Many people try to decide their future by thinking very hard about it. They go over all the options again and again. They talk to friends and family, looking for advice. They make lists. They try to predict the future based on logic, fear, or hope. But after all that thinking, they still feel unsure. I've learned that a better approach is to notice what you know and what you don't know, and then wait. And I mean really wait. Sometimes, while you're waiting, you might feel pulled to do something small. It might not even seem connected to the big decision you're facing, but do it anyway. Then, wait again. This is active waiting, following the little signs, trusting your gut, giving space for clarity to grow. Some people confuse this with procrastination or fear, but there's a big difference between avoiding a step because you're scared and waiting because something inside you says, "Not yet." You have to learn to listen carefully. There's a special kind of knowing that lives in your body, not your mind. It's the same kind of inner push that birds feel when it's time to fly south. They don't make a plan. They don't argue with each other. They just know, and they go. Humans have that kind of knowing too, but we lose touch with it when we get too caught up in our thoughts. We want everything to make sense. We want guarantees, but life doesn't give those. And often, the deeper truth is not logical. It just feels right. You may not be 100% sure, and you may still feel fear. But there's a calm sense inside, a little voice that says, "Yes, now." When you look back on your life, try to remember the decisions you rushed. How did those turn out? Were they based on pressure? Did you force them? Now think about the times when the next step just appeared, when you knew what to do without needing to explain it. Often, those are the moments that changed everything in a good way. I remember making a big decision that didn't feel right. I was getting married, and everything looked good on paper. He was kind, responsible, and my head said, "This makes sense." But my body didn't agree. Deep inside, I felt unsure. I even had dreams that showed my doubt. Still, I told myself to go ahead. I ignored my inner knowing, and I paid the price later. That experience taught me something powerful. If you have to talk yourself into something, maybe you're not ready. Maybe the answer hasn't arrived yet. Try waiting. Give it time. More will be revealed. Trust the process. That voice in your head that says, "You have to decide now." You don't have to listen to it. It's okay to pause. It's okay to stay in the unknown for a little while longer. That's where true clarity often begins. Waiting doesn't mean doing nothing forever. It means staying awake and aware until the right moment comes. And when it does, it feels natural, like taking a breath, like stepping forward without fear. When you move from that place of inner knowing, your actions are stronger, clearer, and more peaceful. So don't be afraid of the quiet space between decisions. Don't rush out of it. Stay there. Wait. Watch. Trust. Life is wiser than we think, and sometimes the best thing we can do is give it the space to show us the way. Let me share a story about a friend of mine who experienced this truth firsthand. For almost 2 years, he worked in a job that paid the bills but didn't inspire him at all. Every morning, he'd wake up feeling stuck, like he was living someone else's life. He knew deep down this wasn't where he wanted to be, but the fear of making a wrong move kept him frozen. People around him kept asking, "Why don't you quit and find something better?" But he wasn't ready. He felt like he was standing in that uncomfortable liminal space, not moving forward, but not going backward either. During those days, he tried to listen carefully to his own feelings. Whenever he thought about quitting, a small voice inside told him, "Not yet. Wait a little longer." It wasn't easy. Some nights, doubt and frustration kept him awake. But he learned to wait actively, paying attention to what felt right, without rushing into any decision. Then, one unexpected afternoon, out of the blue, an old professor contacted him with a surprising opportunity. There was a research project starting, exactly in the field he loved but had almost given up on. The position wasn't public yet, and he hadn't even applied. It was perfect. He told me later, "If I had left too soon, I might have taken a wrong path and missed this chance. Waiting was hard, but it led me exactly where I needed to be." This story shows that sometimes the best things come to us not when we chase them, but when we're patient enough to wait for the right moment. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening and spending your time with me. If you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to learn English in real life. We'll be back soon with another topic to help you grow your English in real-life situations. Take care and see you next time.